I am from the Deep South. They see you as a second-class citizen. They do not see you as an equal. So how do you reconcile that as a strong, beautiful woman?
Thank you so
That
much.
you're literally giving energy to a community that does not believe you are equal. I'm recruiting people that look like you.
To do what? To do what? To do what?
I'm telling you.
So basically, you think I'm inferior. You think I'm inferior.
Absolutely
You
not.
think I'm an inferior black woman
No.
who does not have a brain for
I've never
herself.
said that.
So you're the racist.
No.
He's allowed me to have my own opinion.
No.
You think I don't have my own opinion. So you think I'm an inferior monkey. She just exposed her own racism. He's allowed me to have my own opinion for 3 hours. You think I don't have my own opinion, and someone is basically manipulating me. So you've exposed your own racism. So I think you can move to the side because I don't want to speak to racists. She thinks I don't have a brain of my own, guys.
Oh my goodness, she cooked. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys pulling up today because these people are the problem. This young lady here, I'm from the Deep South. I'm a person born and raised in the South. Born and raised in the South. Now I did move to the Mid-Atlantic and I've lived a couple of other places because you know how the military does this, but I'm back in the South. And I couldn't be happier. People are extremely nice. The economy is booming. There's a lot of jobs out here. Good things are happening. Race relations, for the most part, in my opinion, seem well. I can't say that I've experienced one lick of racism since I've been back in the Deep South. I don't know what this lady's talking about, but they're projecting because it's people like this. They're the real racists. They're the real bigots out here because she got up there and said, basically, you don't have the ability to think for yourself. So let me tell you, you shouldn't think the way that you think. You shouldn't believe the way that you believe. And Lord knows you shouldn't speak the way that you speak because, hey, other people will hear you and maybe they'll start to get some ideas. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. All
right, so these Democrats were shocked when they found out that it was actually the Democrat Party that didn't want blacks to vote.
Do you know what Juneteenth is?
It was the day that we actually celebrated getting freedom for African Americans.
A president sent the army in to enforce the 13th Amendment to make sure that all, like you said, people know that they are free, but they had to send the army to make sure that they know what's going on into Texas. What was the president's name and what political party was he part of?
I'm going to say Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. And was he Republican, Democrat?
I feel like he was Democrat, but I want to say maybe he was Republican. No, I'm going to go with Democrat.
The historic 13th Amendment was passed in Congress, and then it was vetoed by a certain president. Do you know what was the president's name and what party he was affiliated with?
Republican.
A year after Juneteenth, Congress decided to pass the very first Civil Rights Act. It allowed, first of all, it gave full citizenship and rights to freed slaves. What party completely voted against it? Not a single person voted for it. Which party were they affiliated with? Republican, Democrat, other? Anybody know?
I want to say Republican.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican president. So he's the one that sent the army because Southern Democrats in Texas wanted to continue to have slavery. So Abraham Lincoln said, no, we have a federal law now. We're going to enforce that. His vice president that stepped in and vetoed the Civil Rights Act was a Democrat. His name was Andrew Jackson. Yeah. And here's the main thing. When they allowed black people to finally run for office a year after Juneteenth, the first 20 people who were black people to be members of Congress were all Republican members. The Democrats refused to allow black people to vote and to be obviously candidates for office.
So you can watch that clip right there and really see these minds being blown. And when you finally just realize the facts behind all of the propaganda and all of the stuff, you realize how much of true American history is just being hidden from people. God knows they're not teaching it in the schools. They'd rather teach BLM and 500 genders and, I don't know, have drag queens like, teach kids shapes or something like that. They're certainly not being taught history. And then you understand why they don't want to teach this history, because Democrats want to run the propaganda that Republicans are racist when in fact they're the ones with the history of racism.
That is a fact. Hey, Democrats, they are the party of slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, you name it. Pregnancy terminations, you name it. Every wicked and evil thing that's going on. And now you fast forward to 2026, they're the party of socialism. They're the party that wants to usher in communism in the United States of America. You can't make this make sense, man. You just can't. And for the life of me, I need people to take the time to do their own due diligence, their own research. Get off the Democratic plantation. Stop voting blue no matter who. I'm not saying vote Republican just to do it. I'm saying do the research on the candidates and make a decision accordingly.
Look, you're not going to change my mind. People who like socialism are people who have no drive and will to become successful on their own. It's a position that they'll never reach, and they don't want you to reach it neither. Like when they see a rich and successful person, they don't get motivated. It triggers them into a state of unfairness. I mean, whatever bullshit reason they give you, it's just bullshit. They're just losers, and they want you to lose too.
Question. So if socialism works, give me an example of it succeeding. Show me. Just show me an example of a nation that has adapted this system, and show me its longevity and show me how it's worked. Because all of the democratic socialists that are coming out of nowhere saying that this is the way, cite your sources. You're playing with people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So cite your sources. If this is such a great system, show me where it has succeeded long term. I'm waiting for all the ones, all of the very prideful New Yorkers that voted for Mamdani and all the others coming behind you, the people of Colorado that just voted in another one. Show me. State your case.
They can't. But as the brother mentioned, they are a bunch of losers. These are people that belief system is antithetical to the word of God. The word says a man that doesn't work doesn't deserve to eat. These are people that want you to work your tail off and then give them and feed their families, keep a roof over their head. And the thing is that these quote unquote democratic socialists, but let's move the democratic side of things. Let's just call them what they are. They are socialists. They are communists. These people are fundamentally against the country, and they want to change the country. Instead of leaving and going to a place where they could do that, they want to come here and destroy what we have here. This is the last bastion of hope. This is it right here. We got to do everything that we can to protect it.
Hey, we got on rolling show. We got to vote, man, because if we don't vote, they're gonna have us picking cotton.
Well, on that particular point, you talk about the loss of health care. When we begin to break down losses in so many areas, it also, of course, we look at what's happening with black farmers, look at what's happening in education, how they're removing the civil rights oversight from the Department of Education, going to other areas. And so what we are seeing is just completely mayhem coming from this administration, and they are attacking anything. They're looking at grants. They're looking at even corporations that fund black initiatives. They're targeting those things as well. And so we are seeing Black America impacted, loss of jobs, nonprofits are being impacted, black contracts in the federal government are down as well. This is an all-out assault on black folks.
Yes, it is. We have lost so many jobs. Trump used to talk about how good he had been to black folks in terms of job creation. It was lies then, but now we're losing jobs under Trump. Instead of him creating jobs or his administration creating jobs, they're losing jobs, and black folks are disproportionately losing those jobs. And you've got the correct, it's a GOP war on black America. And if we don't stand up and fight back, we're going to be back in the cotton fields. And when I talk about fighting back, I'm not talking about taking up arms. I'm talking about taking it to the streets in protest, and also by exercising our precious right to vote. We're going to have to get out in November and vote.
What? Vote for socialism? Vote for communism? That's what they're pushing. That's what they're pushing.
Vote, like John Lewis said, like our lives depend on it, because our lives do depend on it this time.
There you go again. They got cotton pickers, Hank. No one picks cotton anymore. One cotton picker can do the labor of 100 pickers. Even if black people didn't vote Democrat and they needed somebody to pick cotton, they wouldn't use people to do it. They just get cotton pickers to do it. Dumbass guy, you people are stupid.
Yeah, they're beyond stupid. But that's what they do. They fearmonger. Oh, they're going to put you back in chains. They're going to put you back on that cotton field. They're going to do this and the third. Really? That's how they get you to vote for your own demise. And those are dog whistles for older folks. Not all, but some. That when they hear this, those are dog whistles to stay your behind right on this plantation and keep supporting us. Keep voting blue no matter who. I know we ain't going to do anything for you. I know, we haven't done anything. Your communities are in shambles. Your families are in shambles. We know that you're terminating pregnancies. You're losing, you're losing voter power in the country, not because of the gerrymandering or the redistricting, but because you're losing population. I know, but just put us in office so that we can continue to pillage the nation while offering you very little. The Democrats are in trouble, man, because that rhetoric isn't working anymore. It's not working anymore. It's not enough to say, oh, black folks, if you don't support us, man, they're going to put you back in chains and put you back out on that cotton field. You going back to slavery, when they are the party of slavery, I might add. That's what they do. It's fear. All they can do is fearmonger. You notice they never talk about the policies. You notice they never talk about what their plan is. Wonder why.
But the other reporting that we got this weekend was that the DNC is struggling. They are millions of dollars in debt. They are they're so short on cash that they've asked their vendors not to bother to send bills until after the midterm elections. They have put a loan out on their headquarters to try to fund last year's off-year elections, not to mention any spending that they need to do this year. So they're not exactly in a strong position to lead the party in this moment.
Yeah, that's very fair. And I think that's maybe why they're so reluctant to disavow some of these really extreme radical policies, like getting rid of prisons and opening the borders. So Zoran Mamdani, who you want to be part of this Democratic Party, who Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, everyone has seemed to embrace. Yeah, he watched the World Cup at Rikers. He wants to get rid of prisons. He wants to abolish private property. This is literally the most radical. He wants government-run groceries.
You just lied.
I did not lie. Can I speak for 2 seconds? I'm not here to answer to you. Okay, can I speak for 2 seconds?
When did he ever say he wanted to?
There is a lady from the DSA who, on national TV, they ran down and asked her, do you plan to do this? And she said yes to everything. Everything.
Get rid of prisons. You made a
That's
direct
part of his platform.
When did
That's
he ever
literally
say
part
that?
of his platform.
When you see CNN start to report the truth, then that's how you really know that the Democrats are in trouble and they can no longer hide it. You see, the Democrats are very good at using the media and all their other sources to impart their lies and control their constituents. But once the media has to tell you the truth, that means there is nothing that the Democrats can do to hide it. As we get to midterms, the Democrats have no money. How did they get to this point, and how come they didn't mention this earlier? It didn't just happen overnight. That means Doge did their job. That means when we were calling out the fraud, they lost their money. But also notice the weakness and the weak-mindedness of the Democrats. That black dude gets up there and he starts attacking that woman because he's fragile, because he's weak, because he's defensive, because he knows that the truth is being told about the Democrat Party. The DNC is broke. They're going to be struggling these midterms. MAGA is about to have a great few months of we told you so, we told you so, we told you so.
Yeah. Shout out to this brother. He's absolutely right. And I'm glad to see it, man. They spent $1 billion on a lady that couldn't put together a coherent sentence without chuckling and laughing at nothing. Their policies are terrible. But at the flip side of that, they won't actually tell you, or they won't tell the people their policies. You actually got to go digging around. And in the DSA, they're emboldened because they know as well that the Democratic Party is on the ropes. So now the reality of it is that it's those of us on this side of things, the conservatives, versus the Communist Party. And now that their agenda is out on full display for everybody to see, you cannot continue to support these people. They're crazy. Their policies are crazy. But the one thing I will say about the DSA, the one thing I will say about these socialists, these communists, at least they're willing to tell you what their plans are. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. I appreciate the love, support. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt. Red clay on my shoes. Old pain in my shirt. Oh, so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest. Kicked death from my breath. Put power in my step.